So yeah, anyways, you can also play it. I've seen players play with their thumb. Hey, what's happening, everyone? William Johnson here, and this is an instrument story. I've been enjoying these instrument stories videos, and I think it's another way for me to share some of the collections and instruments and stories and rhythms and ideas with you. It's also kind of an easier way for me to do the ethnomusicology sessions that I was doing. These are more of a crude, not example, but a crude, what am I going to say there? Crude. These particular videos are not as in-depth as the actual ethnomusicology sessions that I started to do about a year or two ago. But it's still, I think it's a way for me to kind of get those videos out and just something different than just the tutorials and the music videos. Anyways, I have a couple instruments here that I wanted to share with you in this instrument stories video that are these are amongst my wall instruments. So here in my personal studio, I have a bunch of instruments on shelves and in shelves and in cases, but I also have a few instruments that are hanging on the wall, hence my wall instruments. And amongst them are these instruments here. Now this is called a Kayamba. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Honestly, disclaimer here, I should preface the video with this. I don't know a ton of information. I don't have a ton of information. I don't know a lot about these instruments. So if any of you watching this video knows quite a bit about this instrument, please feel free to comment below and I would love to hear from you. Anyhow, the two Kayambas, or sometimes called maraveng, is, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, depending on where the instrument is played, depends on how its shape, its look, its size, but also I'm not sure about that size part, but definitely the way that it looks. But its name changes depending on where it is from and where it's played. Now, these instruments, or instruments like these with the variations as such, are often played and originate in the continent of Africa, in the eastern part, in countries such as Kenya and Mozambique, but also on the islands off of the coast there in Mauritania and La Réunion. It's I believe a French-speaking island. So these instruments are played there in music such as Sega and Maloya. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing those correctly, but there's a couple different ways to play these instruments. They are basically like grass reeds, and they often have a wood frame, such as this one here, and they have seeds inside of them. And they're played by holding them with your hand as such, or holding the outside part and playing from side to side. Now, since this is an instrument stories video, I will tell you a little bit about this particular instrument and then another beautiful one that I have. This was given to me back in 2000, well, the date's on there, 2006. And I thought it was given to me later than that, but wow, this is how time flies, right? So yeah, anyways, you can also play it. I've seen players play with their thumb. Yeah, so I love this instrument. And I have another one that was given to me by my friend Susie and Cameron Uri, incredible musicians, songwriters, ministers, beautiful people, that mentors to a lot of people, young people in the Moravian Falls area of North Carolina. They're also very talented recording artists, songwriters, and on their way, whatever I was going to say there. But they were in Mozambique, and they bought me this beautiful Kayamba, and I was not expecting it. I got a package in the mail from Susie and Cameron, opened it up, and here was this beautiful percussion instrument. And if you know me well, you know I love getting percussion gifts. I don't care if it's an egg shaker, a tourist percussion instrument. I love when people think of me by getting me a percussion gift. Thank you so much, Susie and Cameron. But this one, it also has this particular Kayamba also has a beautiful sound. It's quite a bit different, a little bit brighter than this particular one from Kenya. A little bit darker, and that could just be because it's older. The seeds inside, the way that it's made, not the density, but the dimensions. Perhaps different types of seeds. They fill it with different types of seeds on the inside, and yeah. Now you can play it straight, or you accent, as I was doing before, in playing in 6 there, and then you can accent using your thumb. Beautiful instruments. I'm going to link below a couple videos explaining the history or tradition and some background about these particular instruments. But I've had these instruments on my wall, this one in particular, for quite a few years now, and I didn't know much about them until recently. I was always curious about them, but I have a lot of instruments. It's just been on the list to just look up and study a little bit more about where they are from. But one of the things that I really love about this instrument, other than using it as a shaker or a rattle, is using it as a snare, like a snare drum. If you take the instrument, oh man, beautiful. You could just play it as a snare, or like a kashishi, like a shekere. I keep saying shekere. I don't know why I keep saying it. Shekere. The sound brings me so much joy. I can't explain why, but I just love the way that sounds. So a lot of sonic possibilities with these Kayambas. And that is your instrument story for the day. Thank you all so much for watching. God bless you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you. And I'll see you soon.